Hey everybody, it's Missy again with the Shimmerz education team, and I'm back with a new layout today. But before I get started, I want to remind you, like always, when you're shopping in the Shimmerz paint store, if you leave my name in the comments section of your order, then you can get one mini surprise freebie in your order. So don't forget that, because free product is always awesome. So for my layout, I wanted to try something a little different today. I've had this cut file from the Just Nick studio for a long time and have just been waiting for the right moment to use it. And so I thought, I'm going to use it today. I cut it on white cardstock, and I'm going to use it as a stencil on some more white cardstock. And I've pulled out a lot of different Shimmerz products here. You know me, I love all different kinds of colors, and so I picked out lots of blues, pinks, oranges, and yellows. Those seem to be my most favorite and most used colors. So I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape and tape this over the other piece of cardstock so it doesn't move around, because it's just cardstock. It's not made out of stencil material, so it's pretty delicate because of the cuts. You can see how some of the areas are really thin because of the different squares and rectangles. So I'm going to be very careful here, and I'm using an old credit card, and I'm going to start out with some of the pasties. And the pasties are some of the newest products that we have. They are a three-dimensional texture paste that dries with a flat matte finish, and what that means is it does not have any shimmer or sparkle to it. So when it dries, it's flat. But I wasn't really going for a certain finish for this. I was going mainly for the colors. And so I love mixing and matching paste with paint, with liquids. So I'm using a little bit of everything here. This is the new Acrytones, and it's called Pinkadelic, and that's a self-priming acrylic paint, very bold and bright pink. And I just smudged a little bit onto the card, and then I'm just scraping it over the paper there. This is Hold the Mustard, and it's yellow, more of a golden yellow, and when you blend it over the pink, you get this really cool orange color. So I want this to be kind of messy yet controlled, I guess you could say. And when it's all done, when I take off the top layer of cardstock, it's going to look really neat. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. This is a Vibes called Sweetheart, one of my favorite shades of pink. My bottle is almost empty. I use it a lot. And I'm going to come in with one of the, I believe that is a Creamies. Yep, let me get my list here. That one is a Creamies, and it's called Just Peachy, and it's a very pretty orangey color. And the Inklings do have shimmer. They come to you in these little pots like this, and they are hard and dry when you get them, and you just have to add a little bit of water like I did in the beginning and give them a second, and then they're going to activate and start to soften up a little bit. That was Pretty in Pink colorings that I just sprayed there. A nice different shade of a bright bold pink. So as you can see here, I'm painting with a brush. I'm spraying the liquids on. I'm using the credit card. I let that dry a little bit, and now I'm going to start to come in with some blues and aquas. What I'm going to use now is an Inklings called Blue Lagoon, and I got some all over me. It's a very bold aqua color, more on the green side. Very, very pretty color. And now I'm going to do the packaging. I think I did a little bit of everything on this layout here. It's just fun. I like getting messy. There's really no right or wrong way to do this, and having fun is one of the most, I mean, of course I like documenting, but getting messy and just having fun with this is most of what I enjoy about this. So, I love color, and I love mixing and matching it. What I just sprayed there was colorings in Well Blue Me Down, and that's another really pretty aqua blue color. This is another gorgeous color. It's one of the, not brand new, but one of the newer colors, and it's called Snow Way Man, and it's a Vibes, very pretty bright blue. And then I'm going to go in with the blue Acrytones and just do a little bit of the credit card scraping again. And that color is called Blue My Top. And I didn't use any gesso or anything. I just kind of went for it. And I tried not to use too much water. I mean, the paper did get pretty wet, but it winds up being fine. It didn't really warp it a lot at all, which sometimes it does. You know, I use cardstock a lot. I don't really use watercolor paper, and I expect the paper to warp some. It does not bother me. I just flatten it out with putting objects around the edges of the paper or laying it underneath something that's flat, and it's fine. I just sprayed some Mandarin Mai Tai, and that is a colorings. It's a orangey gold color. And then I'm going to use, what's this one called? Beats Me, and that's an Inklings. Very pretty deep pink. And I think this looks cool as it is. Lots of texture. So now I'm going to do the big reveal. I'm going to take off the tape. Just wanted to make sure that stencil didn't move. And I have to say, I am obsessed with how this turned out. I'm actually obsessed with how the stencil looks. I'm keeping that. I may use that. Look at this. That was not hard to do at all. Look, I'm like freaking out. I'm going, ah! I love how this turned out. It's got some dimension. It's got some shimmer. It's got some flat finish. Oh man, I'm so excited I tried that. I love how it turned out. I'm going to take some take some light gray thread and do some stitching here. And I'm just kind of going through some of the white areas in between the squares and the rectangles. And I'm not going to do in between every single opening, but I just wanted to add a little bit of dimension. And it's hard to tell here because it is a light gray thread, but you can see it in person. I just think it adds a little bit of texture and interest. And this is my picture. I almost used a black and white picture, but I found this one and I thought that it looked really good with the colors. Her shirt is actually a dark gray, and it has all the rainbow colors on it, even though you can't really see it. You can kind of see it, but I just thought it matched the colors well, and I loved it. So that's what I'm going to use. I pulled out an old hip kit. I think this one's like April of last year, maybe. So it's almost a year old. And this is a sheet that I've already cut into. It's Simple Stories, Sunshine and Happiness. And the flowers on it matched the colors that I had got going on in the background. And so I'm going to do a little bit of fussy cutting. I got those cut out. And then I pulled out some of the exclusive pieces from this hip kit. And I'm going to use some of the Project Life cards for layering behind my picture. And I did add a little bit of vellum there. I did that just a second ago behind the picture. I'm going to ruffle up the edges a little bit with my edge distressing tool. And I've got some puffy stickers and some die cuts and things from the kit that were exclusive to the hip kit. And my tape runner ran out of tape, of course. Every time I'm recording or in a hurry, yeah, it's going to run out. I think that's just the way it goes with everybody, right? So I don't want to cover up too much of this heart because I think it's gorgeous. And you saw how easy that was to do that. Anybody can do that. This is a great way to do mixed media if you like the look of it, but you don't want to get super messy. You can do everything through a stencil. And you can, like I did, you can even cut the stencil on your Cameo or your die cutting machine and just use it on, you know, with cardstock. You don't necessarily have to have an actual stencil that you buy. You can make one, and it worked out great. You may not be able to use it over and over again, but you saw how it turned out, and I love how this looks. I'm just layering in some of the flowers and some of the little sentiment pieces here. I love that little piece that says, "Embrace Being You." I'm going to make that my title. And then I've got a couple of the rubber charms that were in the kit. I believe those were from Maggie Holmes. Not her newest one, but the one before. Oh, wait, no, this was a year ago. So it was probably, oh goodness, Bloom or Shine. I can't remember. It was one of those gorgeous Maggie lines. Her lines are always gorgeous. But I do know that they were crepe paper. So I'm going to add in some thread here. I've got some pink and some blue. And I'm just going to make sure it's straight. I can't stop staring at this background. I really didn't think it was going to turn out as pretty as it did. You could do this with any color scheme. I hope some of you guys try that, cutting your own stencil and using, you know, mixing and matching your products, because it really didn't take that long and the result is just so pretty. So I'm going to do a little cluster of flowers up here on the upper left, just a little bit. Like I said, I don't want to cover up a lot of that heart because it's so pretty. And this, this picture isn't of a, huge momentous occasion. She was just looking cute on the couch one day, and I started taking her pictures, and I just thought it was I like the angle of it. She's like reaching her arm out to me, even though it looks like her neck doesn't exist and she's kind of scrunched down on the couch. I think she looks really pretty here, and I like the colors, and I like the way it looked. And so, it's just a random moment, and so I don't really feel like I need a huge title for this to convey what's going on. So I'm going to go with the Embrace Being You as the title. I'm going to add a little bit of journaling. And usually my journaling is my last thing, but I do the journaling and then I look at it and I'm like, I don't think it's done yet. I think I need something else. And I do this a lot when I create what I call a layout from scratch, meaning I don't really use a specific collection. I just sort of create a background and have my picture, and then I have to think, okay, now what am I going to use? So, I'm just going to pull from bits and pieces. I've got some wood veneer. These were also in the hip kit this month. I believe those might be exclusive. I'm going to use that little piece that says today. I just thought it looked cute overlapping. And yeah, I dripped a pink drop right on her forehead. Always cover your pictures, people. Hello, I tell myself this every time, and then I think, that won't happen to me this time. And then that's when it does. So cover your pictures if you don't want splatters on your picture. But luckily I got it off and you can't see it. Thank goodness it wasn't black ink, because you'd be able to see it for sure. So that little foam scripty puffy sticker that I just used was from Freckled Fawn, and that was from a kit that I got, I think, over a year ago. And I'm going to use that, even though it doesn't really have anything to do. I like the way it looked, and it was white, and I think it looks pretty on top of that color. And then these are some white clear stickers from a Me and My Big Ideas sticker book that I found at Michael's. I don't wind up using any of them. None of them just seem to go, and I couldn't really find a place for them. And then this is another little booklet I think most of us have. You can find those at Michael's, the Tim Holtz word stickers. And these are good for any type of layout. All the words are generic enough to use on just about anything. And so I chose to use the word remember, and I'm just going to add that in for a little pop of something extra. And I wanted to do a little bit more, but the more I looked at it, I thought, I think it's done. I'm going to add the date down at the bottom. And then the last thing I'm going to do is add just a little bit of black splatters. But yeah, I'm going to cover up my picture. And that's going to do it. Like I said, I didn't feel like it needed a big title. I felt like it would cover up too much and take away from the background and the picture. And so that is the final layout. I am obsessed with this background. You guys have to try it. It was super easy. Didn't take that long. Just mix and match your products and your colors, and get your gift card or your credit card out, your paintbrush, use your hand, a plastic packaging, any and all of the above, and just get yourself a cool background, because I think this is something that you would really enjoy doing. So make sure you visit the Shimmerz paint store and check out all of the things going on. We have aqua hues 50% off while they last, so make sure you get your hands on some of those. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great week.